Lynch, we'll start with the positives for the weekend. Our first piece of silverware sitting here with us. We claimed the Northern League trophy. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, always nice to win a trophy. Yeah, definitely. I think we probably deserved it at the end as well. I think the Northern League was a good competition for us. You know, it threw up some interesting games against teams that we know pretty well, and it threw up a couple of interesting games against a team we'd never played before. So, yeah, great to win our first trophy of the season. Hopefully that's a bit of a catalyst to the guys going forward now. Hopefully the taste of winning is something they want to emulate 1 or 2 or 3 times more throughout the remainder of this year.
At times on Sunday night, Lynch, it was a tense rink. We got ourselves into a great position, 5-2 up, and then we switched off with about, I think it was about 5.5 minutes at the end of the second period, and before we know it, it's 5 each.
Yeah, we got ourselves in a good position and during the second period. I think we scored 3 in the sort of first half of the second period, and then yeah, totally switched off. Gave them a route back into the game, and to go in at the end of the second period 5-all was disappointing. But you know, credit to the guys. Third period came out flying, won the third period 4-0, and can't ask for much more than that.
And we knew Kilmarnock would come here. They weren't just going to roll over and let us win that trophy. But the final period, you obviously asked for a reaction for the boys, and you just mentioned it there that it was a great final period, wasn't it?
Yeah, in all honesty, I didn't have to say much at the end of the second period. The guys kind of took care of it themselves. They weren't very happy either. A few of them had a few sort of choice words, and yeah, they went out in the third period and had a great 20 minutes.
There was a great crowd in the building on Sunday night, wasn't there? And I felt that, especially that final period, it seemed to really lift the boys as well. It seemed to get louder.
Yeah, they were noisy. They were very noisy. Yeah, good crowd as always. It's kind of strange now. You look at the Sunday home games and the crowd's a little bit less than what they are on a Saturday compared to the way it's always been in the past. There maybe wasn't quite as many people in the building on Sunday night as there was on most Saturday games. But yeah, the people that were here were very loud. They were excited about the game as well. I think they were a little bit more nervous than some of the players at times. Some of the, I don't hear too much that's going on or too much that's said, but you could just tell there was an air of sort of, the fans were a little bit frantic. I think it took us until the third period before they kind of started relaxing a little bit.
So the Northern League as a whole, it seemed to be a great success in its first season. We had some great performances, and probably most notably the one down in Blackburn when we travelled down. We had about 10 skaters missing. You must be happy with it over the course of it, the way it went.
Yeah, in all honesty, I thought we played very well in all 6 games. Even the one we lost, I don't think it was our worst night at the office. You look at the games that we played. We had a great win down in Kilmarnock. We had our biggest win of the year down in Kilmarnock, which is never an easy place to go. And the 2 games against Blackburn, yeah. It's like I say, we kind of try and build them up as a little sort of unofficial Scotland against England game just to get the fans a little bit more excited. And the game here was an excellent game. It went it was end to end. And then the game down in Blackburn, yeah, we travelled with a pretty light bench that day and came away with a fantastic win.
So we need to touch on Saturday night, Lynch. It was a blow, losing 5-4 to the Comets up there. Obviously, we all know it was a 4-point game. Aberdeen won twice at the weekend as well. So we now sit second, 2 points behind them. How would you sum up Saturday and what went wrong?
Listen, Saturday's game is, yeah, very disappointing, especially when it been a 4-point game. But you can liken it to the game the previous Saturday here where we beat Kirkcaldy. It was an even game where either team could have won. And that's the SNL. That's the great thing about the SNL last season and this season. So it's disappointing that we dropped 4 points. It's not the end of the world. It wasn't our best performance. It certainly wasn't our worst performance. And I think teams are kidding themselves if they're saying they'll go from now till the end of the season without losing any games. So there's a lot of hockey left to play. We've got to get right back to work this Saturday against Dundee where we get a chance to make amends. And then if we can hopefully pick up 2 points this weekend, we take that in the next weekend and the weekend after. But listen, no panic buttons getting hit. It's a setback. It's a stumbling block in the road. It's far from the end of the world.
But there's very fine margin for error now, though, and I think we've got 8 league games left, or we've got the 4-point game up against the Tigers. We've also got Aberdeen to play twice as well, so it is still in our hands. And as you say, you've just got to take it one game at a time, isn't it?
Listen, Aberdeen have got to go to Kilmarnock this Saturday, which is a difficult place to go. They've got to play the Comets in a 4-point game themselves yet. We've got to play them twice, and everyone else can beat everyone else. There's a lot of hockey left, and if you think back to what happened last year. If anything can happen, absolutely anything. So, just like I said, Saturday was a setback. It's not the end of the world. We keep going.
So, as you've mentioned there, Saturday coming, we play the Comets here back at Murrayfield. Obviously, we'll be looking for revenge. What do we have to do to be successful against them and take the 2 points?
Score one more goal than they do. Listen, Saturday's game in Dundee could have went either way. There was never more than one goal in it. It was 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, and it went like that right through at the end of the game. Two pretty evenly balanced teams. It'll be a good game. It'll be an exciting game. It'll be an intense game, and here's hoping that we come out on top this time.
The thing is, as well, I noticed, obviously, looking at the league table, the Comets are right in the mix now. Yep. They've just kind of appeared, and I think they're 3 points behind us with a game in hand, so it's a huge game for them as well.
Yeah, definitely. I never imagined it was ever going to go down a two-horse race. I always thought there'd be a third or a fourth team that were always going to be in the mix. I think the Kestrels are still hypothetically in the mix as well. And again, you look at the Kestrel schedule, and they've still got to play us. They've still got to play Aberdeen. I think they've still got to maybe play the Comets in Fife. I'm not 100% sure, but everyone's still got to play everybody with 8 games left. So anything can happen.
And obviously, we'll finish on a nice positive note. Winning on Sunday night, albeit, maybe not one of the major trophies of the season so far, but it feels good. You must be hoping now that the boys have got the taste of that, and it'll kick us on for the final stretch.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, hopefully this is a catalyst. Hopefully the taste of winning a trophy makes them want more as the season goes on. You could see everyone was delighted. Players and fans and everybody involved with the club was delighted with winning this on Sunday night. So like I say, here's hoping that drives us on now to contest for the remaining 3 that are available, and hopefully we can bring them all back as well.
Well, let's all the best for the weekend, Lynch, and let's get these 2 points.
We got there in the end tonight, even with your stuttering and stammering.
Chad, interview time. Chad, our first piece of silverware in the bag. Hopefully the first of a few to come this season.
Yeah, it's always good to win trophies, and it was good to challenge ourselves against some other teams that we haven't played against. I'm hoping that first taste of silverware obviously gets the boys going, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
So we'll start with the bad part of the weekend first. Dundee on Saturday, we lost the 4 points. That was a massive game, but we just came up short, and that was a big blow, wasn't it?
Yeah, both Dundee teams, the away games are massive, being worth 4 points. Dundee are a great team, and I think they just got the better of us that night. Another night could have went either way, but, it was a really good game.
And how do you feel the game went? Is it, as you say there, I think in large spells we did kind of dictate the game, but obviously we didn't get the points.
Yeah, I think for large spells that we were the better team. They've got a really good goalie, good defence, some good skilled forwards as well, and I think we just fell asleep a couple of times, and that was what cost us the game ultimately.
And it's not the end of the world, though. I know we've slipped into second in the league, but it's still in our hands. We've got 8 games left, and we're 2 points behind. We've got Aberdeen to play twice. We've just got to keep taking it game at a time, haven't we?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's not a bad thing to be chasing. It gives you something to strive towards. I think sometimes it's easy to get complacent when you're top. And like you say, it's in our hands now. We've got 7 or 8 games left with a couple of the top teams to play still. So.
And Comets here on Saturday again. It's another huge game, but it's also a massive game for the Comets now because they're right back in the mix, aren't they? I think they're 3 points behind us with a game in hand.
Yeah, Comets have kind of went under the radar this year. They're right in the mix. I think they had a bit of a slower start, but I think now, especially after last weekend, they'll be fired up and ready to go. So we're going to need to be at our best this weekend.
So we'll talk about last Sunday. It was a special night here in the Lions Den. As always, the games against Kilmarnock, they never seem to go very smooth, but we had a decent lead, but we kind of switched off at 5-2, and before we knew it, it was 5-all going into the last period, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think, props to Kilmarnock. They're a really good team compared to years past. They've got a really young bunch of boys that are really, they really want to make something of themselves. And I think the occasion of coming to Edinburgh in front of the 1,000+ fans really gets them going. And yeah, they always seem to turn up against us, and we always seem to underestimate them every week. So it was good games.
And in the locker room at the end of the second, I was in there, and I heard a few choice words, but it was needed, and it seemed to work, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just a bit of complacency kicking in. I think sometimes it's hard when you only need a point to win a game. People start looking at, we're drawing, it's not too bad. But I think if that was a league game, we would have been giving ourselves a kick up the back to be getting the win anyway.
So winning any trophy is special, isn't it? Obviously, Chad, in the Northern League, it's been a good test. We've showed our quality in the end, but it was brilliant also. I know we played a couple of teams fair league, but going to Blackburn and, you know, going down there, and that night we were very short bench, but we came away with a big win there, and obviously winning, beating them at home as well. But it was a great testing ourselves against that team, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's good. Obviously, the games against Whitley didn't go to plan, but I think it's good to test yourself against teams that, you know, we don't necessarily play all the time, to showcase the league and ourselves. And I think we held ourselves really well against Blackburn, both teams. But it's good to see how they cope against us as well.
And I thought the crowd played a massive part on Sunday night. I felt especially the final period, the noise just seemed to get louder and louder. Do you guys just feed off that?
Yeah, 100%. The fans, you know, when we play at home, it's a massive advantage. There's not a lot of teams in the league that get, you know, the support and the fan base that we get. So we really thrive off of that. And, you know, when we start winning or scoring or just playing well in general, the fans really get behind us, and it really makes it a lot better to play.
And personally for you, it was a special weekend. You hit the 50-point mark, and that's the second season in a row you've done that. Obviously, team honours is first and foremost, but individually you must be very happy with that.
Yeah, it's like you say, at the end of the day, you know, we'll win trophies. The points mean nothing if you don't win anything. But I think, you know, the team's performance is a reflection of my points as well. I think the team's been playing well, so with that comes points. And yeah, obviously, I strive myself to do as well as I can, and it's good to see that it's working.
Just a wee thing, do you set yourself a level at the start of the season you think that you want to get to, or do you just take it as it comes?
Not so much a set thing, but, you know, I have a standard that I hold myself to, and I think, you know, like, I'll hold myself accountable if I feel like I'm not playing as well. Like at the start of the season, I didn't think I was playing as great, and obviously, but when I'm playing a bit better, I kind of have to humble yourself down a little bit. So yeah, it's good to set some mini goals.
And obviously, you play with alongside Joe. I think I was looking at the stats the other day. You've grabbed over 120 points between you so far. How much do you enjoy playing with him?
Yeah, Joel's a character. I really enjoy playing with Joel. Sometimes he can show his emotions a little bit too much, but you know, he cares, and he's a great captain, and he's a really good player to play with. He's really intelligent, and yeah, he always seems to find you in the right spot.
Brilliant. Well, listen, Chad, all the best for Saturday. Let's take it one game at a time and get this one and get a win.
Cheers, Eastie.